We are back, all four of us today, and we will be discussing episode 4 of Survivor 42. Probably the most lackluster episode, in my opinion, but it was what it was. How are y'all feeling?
I consider myself a Survivor optimist, and this episode bored the heck out of me. I'm sorry, it just did. I don't know why, but I was actually struggling for it to hold my attention, which it's Survivor, so.
Yeah, I didn't know why subconsciously I felt the same way until I realized after from Twitter saying that once again, this was spoiled that Tori was never going home because we got to see in the very first episode that Tori finds the Beware advantage, or at least is involved in finding the Beware advantage on that tribe. So that's why I knew subconsciously Tori wasn't going home.
Yeah, facts. I had a weird feeling. I even said it last week. Something was giving me the off vibe about Swati, and I just kind of felt this one coming.
Yeah, you were right on that one. Maybe not on Daniel, but you were right on that.
Well, my ranking on Daniel changed this week as well. But you got to call Swati number 1, like the Nelly song, because everybody's her number 1. You know, she's not number one. You can't do that. Come on.
Yeah, not happy. I lost my first person. So
you had the whole team. Now you got to join me and Fan Guy. Mike still with 2, and Boo Boo might have one of the better selections with Marianne.
God.
Truly.
Marianne still makes me cringe. I mean, but she is actually doing great. So
She's doing better than some.
Assuming the Orange Tribe makes the merge without losing again, I seriously think Marianne has a better chance of winning than my whole team. And I let her fall. We all let her fall.
I still think both Marianne and Mike have a better chance of winning than your whole team, Mike.
Dude, my team is in some dire straits.
Who do you got left, Mike?
Daniel
Roxroy and Daniel.
Oof.
Which Daniel is in a bad spot, but I think he'll be okay if he emerges.
I mean, this is where I want to start. Because our bottom 2, Mike, is your team, Roxroy.
And again, I could not in good conscience objectively rate them. So I didn't rate them. I'm pretty sure they're the 2 I didn't rate. Although I did waver, spoiler alert, I put Chanel at 10, and I wavered between her and Daniel at 10, but I gave it to Chanel. So, yeah, I guess starting on Roxboy, this guy is so clueless. You hear your ally kept information from you, but you're still just so stubborn on getting this person out that you just blow them up.
He's growing on me, not game-wise, but character-wise.
No, he's a good character, but he's not winning the game. Like, I like Roxroy. He's entertaining. He was the best part of the episode, probably. He was one of the best parts of the episode, but he's not very good at the game of Survivor, or at least people's perceptions of him are very poor. I think he'd do pretty good in an old school season with an older cast that he might connect with a little better. I still believe that, but I just don't think he's suited to modern Survivor.
No, 1,000% not. He's so old and out of touch, like that. And you hear somebody keeping information from you, and you run back and tell them, and then it's like, no, I'm not voting her out. Like, okay. And she didn't even deny it, or she wasn't like, no, Roxroy, I do not have an extra vote. Like, she is lying. Like, she just was like,
What is it about these older players? Because we saw Jeannie do this last season as well, where they just had this old school mentality. Is it because they grew up on the old school Survivor?
Yes, with their old asses.
I mean, I feel like I did too, but I don't think I would do that.
They're not young bucks able to adapt to the modern times.
I don't even know if it's an age thing. I mean, it is definitely an age thing, but older players don't all play like that. They don't have to play like that. They just choose to play like that, which is not good for this game. But I second everything Mike said about this one. Roxroy is he's just rubbed everybody the wrong way on that tribe, kind of, and he's just, he's trying to be the captain of a ship that doesn't really want a captain.
No, the worst part for me was him like literally being like blow, 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 blow. Like, boy, if you don't shut the fuck up, you get your ass down here and blow with them old ass lungs.
He really wants to be a leader too,
Which is
I
not
ain't
the
like
best
that.
thing to be.
the worst thing to be a survivor, I think.
And that's historical. Like, you don't want to be the leader. The leaders are the ones who put their necks out. So no, I don't get Roxroy. I like him as a character though. Like y'all said, he's great to watch.
He totally got misted on this vote too. Like, it seemed like they didn't loop him in. Like, they literally trusted Tori to vote their way over trying to convince Roxroy. So I think that says like a lot.
That whole tribe sucks in the game. That tribe's have a hard time seeing anyone from that tribe winning.
Did we see how Roxroy voted?
He voted for Tori.
Did he? Okay.
He's that stubborn. Before we talk about Daniel, I might as well round out the bottom three. Chanel is also with the bottom three still.
Yeah, I mean, Chanel and Daniel are really both in a bad spot on that tribe still. And it's yet to see how the cards are going to fall with those two. I think High felt more betrayed by Daniel, probably because he felt closer to Daniel. Or at least that's the vibe I got watching him kind of talk about it a little bit. But I think both of these players are really on the outs. And I was a fan of the way Daniel handled himself at Tribal, but I was not a fan of the way Daniel handled himself when they got back to camp. I think that's something you have to hash out right then and there if you're going to want any chance at getting your point across.
Because everybody else gonna go talk shit after the night. Ain't nobody waiting until in the morning gonna sleep on it. No.
Any other thoughts on those two?
Yeah, Chanel disappointed me how she handled that. It just was, you could tell she kind of, I mean, granted, Daniel was
It seems
right.
like Daniel was the one that was worse off, though.
I mean, that's what he said. She barely got any, like, pushback from, like, the tribe, even though she was clearly, like, trying not to stay where she laid, trying not to put her eggs out there. But it's still, to me, it looked bad still.
Do you think it's because she wasn't the one that had to actually get the blood on her hands and Daniel was?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that irked me about what she did, and I kind of didn't say it last week, was the reason I thought it was so bad the way she played it and worse than Daniel was the fact that she was the one going around trying to tell people how to split the votes and stuff. And she didn't even have a vote. So if you're another player on that tribe and you realize that this person is trying to coordinate all the votes to go in a certain way, and they don't even have a vote, and they know they don't have a vote as they're doing that, to me, that just seems way shadier than what Daniel did. Daniel just picked a side. Chanel refused to pick a side and is still trying to play both sides. And maybe it's just, like a lot of us have played a lot of these games before, so I don't know if we just have a different mentality about it, but that would give me a worse, like, I just have a worse taste in my mouth on someone who does that than someone who at least picks a side.
I ranked Chanel, albeit in my last spot, but I still ranked her. I feel like we heard directly from Daniel that she's just getting less blowback. So I do think if that tribe goes to tribal, that it'll be Daniel or Chanel. And if Chanel's getting less flack, she might be in a position to emerge and save her game. But she'd pretty much need to jump ship. So that's why she's ranked, but very, very low.
The reason I ranked Daniel so low back-to-back weeks is because I just feel like, and Kai kind of explained it in his confessionals, I think Daniel lost the game by just showing he has no backbone. He has no, it's just Daniel. It's all about Daniel. I just don't think that's going to win him the game. That early in the game, he showed his cards too early in the game for that, in my opinion.
He basically told High that he wasn't going to draw rocks. He basically told him that. He gave High a free reign to do what High did and say, well, I'm not budging, because he knew Daniel was, kind of a coward like that.
Oh, shit.
Any final thoughts on these two? All right. Well, number 10, making the top 10 for the first time, is Mike.
Yeah, Mike. Woo! getting closer and closer to that idol being active, and he's clearly. I mean, I guess I'll just start. He's clearly bonding with High in this episode, like significantly, and considering where I think a lot of us are going to have High ranked, I think that's good for his game. Like he sees he put his trust in the wrong people. Well, he put his trust in one person that probably earned it, and one person that didn't, and the person that his ally went home, and now he's forging a new bond, and he has an idol hopefully soon that'll actually be active. So props to him. I ranked him this week.
Yeah,
I did as well.
deserved it. He definitely deserved it. He's playing better than Roxroy old ass. That's the old game that you need to play, Roxroy. It's like Mike.
Be like Mike.
See, I feel like Mike is like a wish.com version of Tony. He's just like a, like a really just, like I did rank him. I have him 10th right here. Just because I liked him better than the other options. I still don't like his chances to win the game. He does his whole aura, everything about him doesn't scream winner to me at all. So I just can't see this guy winning the game in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I mean, I can see him more than a lot of people at this point, honestly. I think for me, it's just that he's going to make the merge, obviously. He's not going home on this tribe. But I feel like if he is good with High, why can't he win? I mean, he has a good enough personality. He has an advantage if he gets someone from the blue team, which obviously we know they're going to find it because of that first episode preview. So he has a good chance as some people, I think. You don't think so?
I don't. Yeah, he just doesn't have the charisma, we'll call it. I don't think he can pull the votes needed to win because, like, we were kind of talking about this last week. A lot of people go into the final. Let's say he makes the final tribal. A lot of people go into the final tribal already know who they're voting for. That happens really most of the time. Anybody who's not decided, I don't see them being swayed by Mike. And
I mean, there's a whole merge to play though, and half the people don't even know him.
He just doesn't seem as likable as a lot of these other people for me. That's just for me.
Bro, he's a retired firefighter. He's gonna get props. No, like people like firefighters. Like it's cliche, but
Fat guy hates firefighters.
Yeah, we know Fat guy hates firefighters, but the vast majority of people like firefighters in a way they don't like cops, and we've seen cops win, and it's just we've seen a firefighter win, Tom Westman. So I could see Mike winning.
Yeah, Jeremy was probably one of the more likable winners, but Jeremy was a lot more likable than Mike.
No, this guy's got nothing on.
Jeremy's way more likable than this guy.
Yeah, Mike's got nothing on Jeremy, but yeah, I could totally see him winning. And there's a lot of people in this cast I couldn't see winning. Like he's clearly got the edit, and I think he's got the background. I think his biggest problem is going to be getting to the end, not getting votes.
All right, we will move on to number 9, which is Draya. She's been following lately.
I'm actually pretty surprised to see her this low because she still has 2 powers, and she managed to. Apparently, Roxroy will never vote her out. We learned that. So I think she's in a more secure spot on that tribe.
Here's my problem with her. That you say that. Is that she's still bad. I think she's bad at this game. I think she will vote Roxroy out and lose her closest ally who would be undying loyal to her. She's just not striking me as someone who gets that she doesn't know how to like maneuver herself, I don't think. Because she said she doesn't know why this tribe isn't together at tribal councils. Because of her, she's the one that was playing both sides. I mean, it's worked for her for now, but I don't think she has the maneuvering ability to win the game.
I actually, looking at my ranking right before we started this, realized I forgot to rank Draya. So I think her falling so hard, partially my fault. I would probably actually put her about mid-tier, not off the list. But she has 2 advantages, seems to be running this tribe, and yet I don't have a positive impression of her. So For some reason, I just don't think she has the. All right, we'll use a fan guy word. I don't think she has the charisma to successfully keep this tribe together and lead this tribe. And that is like her only real path with all these advantages and these targets. And she's going to be a big triple threat target moving forward. I don't think she has that X factor charisma.
Even if she leads the tribe, is she going to have numbers on this tribe? Is it just going to be like Shannon? She's just going to have a card and no other numbers.
She wished she was like Shan. She fucking wishes.
I mean, it does seem like Romeo's tight with her too. It does seem like she has Romeo and Roxroy. But I can't disagree with what you guys said. She is missing something that you just see from successful players.
If anybody has a charisma on that tribe to actually maybe go far, probably Romeo.
Been saying that from the jump while y'all been on that dude. I've been ranking him high every week.
He's ranked high this week.
Who?
Don't act like you don't know Romeo.
Mike Jones.
All right, we will move on to number 8. I still don't know what to feel about her, but it is Tori coming in at number 8. She
Tori over
weaseling.
Draya?
She keeps weaseling her way out of things.
I think it's because I didn't get my rankings in
Yeah,
soon
you didn't get your
enough.
rankings in on time.
I think
You
that's
might
what
get a
it is.
ranked Draya, so that's probably why.
Yeah, I ranked Draya higher than Tori, personally.
I actually ranked Tori a little higher than Draya.
But I did rank Tori fairly high.
Why?
I mean, the thing with Tori, she's either going home next when this team loses again, or she's going to keep weaseling her way out. Roxroy goes home, and she's going to make the merge, probably. And then who knows what she could do. Honestly, Tori reminds me, she has a little bit of Anthony in her who just talks too much, but gets out of things. A little bit of Alex who loves to be on the bottom, but can always stay in the game somehow. She has tools to win the game. I don't like her necessarily. But we've seen her weaseling her way out twice now.
No, she so reminds me of Anthony's winning game. Like she totally reminds me of Anthony's winning game. Maybe starting from a worse place, but she's like doing the same thing. And I guess maybe there's a little bit of Alex in there, but I see a lot more parallels with Anthony. And I think playing from the bottom is a very real strategy and it's a very real skill. And it can really get you a lot of respect moving forward. Now, if I'd have remembered to rank Draya, I would have had Draya higher than Tori. But I had Tori right at 8. So this is about where I think she belongs.
I guess for me, it's similar to what Fan Guy says about the way I draft, is that I just feel like Tori might go home before Draya. But Tori has a better chance of winning than Draya, in my opinion.
I concur. I say this every week. I said this last 2 weeks. I just got the strangest feeling about Tori that she's gonna see herself at the end of this game. I don't know why I have this intuition, but I just have this weird intuitive thought that Tori is gonna find herself very deep into this game. And if she does, I think she's got roughly as good a chance of most of this cast at actually winning the game. But she annoys the shit out of me.
Aspen, any final thoughts on Tori?
That bitch is annoying. She the type of like blonde dumb white girl that I think about winning Survivor. So I mean I could see it, you know, like she fits the bill. So
but I mean, is she dumb? Is she?
No.
She's a little bit, but she's
I don't think she's dumb. I mean, she's a therapist. She's more of like a people.
Not a registered therapist.
She's not a registered therapist.
She's a life coach.
Oh. Okay, I take it. I'm not going to defend you so hard, Tori.
Exactly. Take it back. Take a seat. Because no, she just life coaching. No, we all life coaches. Come on now.
I don't think she's dumb like mentally. I think she's sort of dumb socially. If that
that's
like I think she's got it going on in her cerebrally, but like her like self-awareness type stuff, her just all that social intelligence doesn't seem to be very high.
Yeah, her and Draya have that in common, but I feel like Tori's just a little more savvy at the game.
Snaky.
itself.
Yes,
Yeah.
Tori is more snaky.
All right, we'll move on to number 7, which is Lydia.
The goat. The goat. Look, Lydia
We
makes
called her the goat that can make it to the end and not.
if-
Similar
yeah,
to what you
yeah.
like to say, Aspen. You weren't here last week, but Lydia is the goat. You take her to the end because you're gonna beat her.
Yeah.
If Lydia makes the merge, she's gonna go far.
She
Yeah.
should.
I mean,
Now
it's
you ready for my bold prediction? You ready for this, guys? This is what I thought after watching this episode. Lydia is the Heather to High's Erica. That's my prediction. They're going to be this duo that just kind of coasts to the end, and Lydia's going to go right before the end, maybe in fire making, and High's going to win. That's my bold prediction after this
I wouldn't be
episode.
surprised.
Because we literally get the Lydia almost goes home, and Lydia doesn't get a confessional, but we get to hear how High feels about Lydia almost going home. So that's just totally the vibes I'm getting here.
Yeah, that's true. Or that could just, be Survivor's editing. They just never know how to edit women for whatever reason. It's always the guy's point of view.
the worst.
Any other thoughts on Lydia?
It's not
Hopefully,
allowed
no
to
more
say.
jumping competitions.
Cool. Oh. Ugh,
I thought she was about to get the Heather edit. Just keep trying. Just keep trying to do it. But they
Oh,
didn't.
thank God she wasn't forced to have to get one.
Mhm.
Like if they each player must get one.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yikes.
How short is she? Do we know? Has it been said?
I don't know.
Because being short's a disadvantage in a jumping contest.
It is.
In her defense, but come on.
All right. Number 6 is Jonathan.
What? Why is he not number 1?
I was waiting for your commentary on Jonathan.
What the
You
fuck?
know why he's not number 1.
What? Because Jeff called him fucking out, and Jeff is making, bro. Tell me why is Jeff trying to sink my boy's game? Like he purposefully is going out of his way to be like, Jonathan, you single-handedly carried
Well,
this
Jonathan's
whole
just speaking
track.
facts.
Jeff
Jonathan.
just has a man crush on Jonathan
Exactly.
and can't help himself.
And you are answering your own question, Aspen. That is why he's not number 1, is because he even got called out by other players this week. Look at Goliath over there. How are we ever supposed to beat him? If you think that this guy has he's like I said, he's safe until the merge. But once everyone comes together and they're
He has to be target number 1.
they're like, this guy can possibly comp out the whole way. As soon as he doesn't win. Now, here's my thought on Jonathan, though. For me, if he makes the end now, I actually think he has a very good shot at winning because this guy should be target numero uno. And if you let that guy get to the end, he deserves to win. Period.
Damn right.
I just don't think he'll get there. I think the first time he doesn't win immunity, if they're smart, he's gone.
He's got to be. I will say this, though, Aspen. I told this to Fan Guy before we started that I like Jonathan way more than I like Xander last year. He's way more likable than fucking Xander.
Nice. I'll take it.
Jonathan's, I think, actually quite likable. And actually, one of the things that is most keeping me engaged with this season is how many comps is this dude gonna win? In a way that I didn't feel about Xander and Joe in recent times. I'm actually interested to see, is Jonathan really gonna be able to stack up in these balanced merge competitions? Is he gonna have the endurance in him, or is he gonna just start showing why big guys don't usually win all the merge challenges?
Well, watching him single-handedly pull that boat, bro. Marianne's falling behind the boat. The boat is ahead of Marianne because Jonathan's just ripping so fast.
Crazy. He's like Superman.
Or when he was carrying that fucking ladder in that water. Oh my God.
Well, I said last week he had a height advantage more than anybody else in that show.
Okay, Nick, you seeming like you drinking a little haterade. You need to pipe
I
down
just
on that.
said I like Jonathan. I like it way
Okay.
more than Alexander. But last week's challenge was a little wonky.
I do feel like they doing this on purpose. They giving him like specific strength challenges, you know, like so he can like be shown out, and like y'all can't expect him to not show out, you know. Like I don't know. It's so it sucks because he is doing a great job and he deserves to win, but he will be target number one. But here's
You
my
like
bold
these
prediction.
man crushes on these
No.
white guys.
Let me say my bold prediction. Like Mike said, I think Jonathan gonna make it to the merge and comp out. So
He's not gonna comp out every single comp. If there's like one like stand on something comp or where you know when his height's gonna be a disadvantage, it's gonna be screwed.
you watch and see, Nick.
Also, just any puzzle, I think he's gonna be screwed pretty early, honestly.
If Jonathan wins every merge challenge and Aspen gets that right, I'm retiring. I'm retiring from predicting Survivor. Like I genuinely don't think, assuming that the show keeps any of it, like keeps the format somewhat similar, I don't think we'll ever see someone win every challenge. The record's like 6 individual challenges.
Who do you know who holds the record?
I know who holds it for the women, and it's a tie between Chrissy from Heroes, Healers, Hustlers, and I believe Parv. And I think for men, it's held by Ozzy at maybe 6 or 7.
Ozzy would have been my guess too.
Yeah.
On who has the most guys.
I can Google.
Jonathan's a specimen compared to the rest of this cast. Like no one's gonna touch him in anything. The dude is like a world pull-up champion. Literally, the hardest exercise to do in a lot of ways is pull-ups. And this dude's the world champion.
Yeah, and I definitely can't pull my little 100-pound ass up. And he's like, I've been doing pull-ups since I came out the womb. I'm like, damn, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Actually, Ozzy at 5. So I think the women's might also be 5.
And that's a ton. 5 comps post-merge is a ton.
No,
Yeah.
it is. But that's
Yeah.
the thing. It's one of the best to ever individually play. Like everyone considers him one of the best comp beasts ever. And he only won 5. No one's gonna win all of them, Aspen. And Jonathan's gonna be
But Ozzy did win a lot down the stretch, which he needed to do.
Yeah.
Jonathan just better hope that there's no counting.
Yeah.
Challenge.
The record for
requires counting.
women is 4, and it's a tie with Wigglesworth, Jenna Maraska, Kim Spradlin, and Chrissy from HHH.
1, 2, 3. 3
I
triangles.
don't think Jonathan's gonna win any puzzle or counting challenge. You're right on that, fan.
All right, Nick, you been a little harsh there, buddy.
He's not gonna win all these challenges. That's what I hate to break it to you. You better hope that he somehow has numbers at the merge, because that's his only hope at this point.
Well, you know Jeff gonna keep him around because he like looking at him do that Autumn Strong challenges. So
I don't know. He's giving me very much John Cena vibes.
Kinda.
He's Superman, John Cena. I need a heel to come in and take him out. Hopefully Omar stabs him in the back at some point. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, because he made their tribe look kind of when he's like, "Oh, we're super strong." That Marianne and Omar were kind of commenting on that in some of their confessionals. Like, you don't want the other 2 tribes to know how strong you are, because then your tribe becomes the first target, and you are definitely the first target on your tribe.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. That is true. You got a point.
All right, number 5 is Marianne. Not as high as last week, but
I think she's on the bottom of her tribe still. I do. I think if this tribe happens to lose pre-merge, she will go. But if they make merge, I think she's going to be one of the last ones to go from her tribe. So it's
I think they're making merge.
I do too.
That's exactly why I have her pretty middle of the pack. If they all make it to merge, if they don't lose again, which is pretty dang likely, I think Marianne is maybe in the strongest spot in that tribe. But if they lose, I'm almost certain she's gone unless her idol gets activated and she has the foresight to play it. So that's why right now she's low. But as soon as March hits, she's going, I think, above her whole tribe as long as things stay about the same.
Yeah. Aspen, what are your thoughts on Marianne?
She's so chaotic, yo. Like, I just catch her face sometimes, and she is so emotional and so expressive with her facial reactions. Just about everything. I
She's
mean,
good meme material.
Yeah, very, very much so meme material. But I don't think she's gonna do good. I think she's too much. I think, and I don't just think this as a viewer, which I do. I do feel like she's too much as a viewer, but I feel like it's too much to play with too. But I don't know. I feel like people would get tired of it eventually. And I don't know if I would have told everybody and like found the idol with everybody. And I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, with this idol though, you might as well, because everybody's gonna know by the end anyway. Because Mike already told everybody too, and you gotta say this fucking phrase 20 million times before somebody else gets it. So
true.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it gains trust actually.
I guess, but I feel like they're gonna use it to turn on her ass, and
I think they need to use her to save Jonathan.
Oh yeah, they will have to do that. Yeah. Good job, boo boo.
Any other thoughts on Marianne? All right. Well, number 4 is Romeo, the only person from the Blue Tribe with any game sense, in my opinion. Well, other than maybe Tori.
And what a turnaround for Romeo. You know, like watching his little preseason interviews where he was just scared to be out there and he looked like a little deer in headlights. I mean, he's turned it around well in the way he handled Roxroy, you know, badgering him with the fire. And, you know, he has some social awareness where he knows he can't snap at people, even if he wants to. And he's keeping it cool. I mean,
and he ran this vote. This was his vote. He wanted it to be Swati, and he got his way.
That was who he felt least close to, and he got her out.
Yeah, and he did it like really subtly. And I think he's the best player on this Blue Tribe. I don't think he or anyone on the Blue Tribe is going to win, but I think if the Blue Tribe has someone who does really well, maybe integrates themselves into another alliance, or I suppose the only likable person in the Blue Tribe alliance, if they actually end up doing well, it might end up being Romeo. And so I feel pretty good about his chances.
Good point. He is the most likable of the Blue Tribe by a mile.
Yeah,
by a mile.
Yeah.
Well, he's up in our rankings, so maybe, even though our rankings have been all over the place this season. Any last thoughts on Romeo? Aspen, any thoughts? Do you know who he is now?
I was about to say, ain't Romeo my boy?
Is he on your team? I don't know who's on your team anymore.
Nah, I got him.
Oh, that's your boy?
That guy has, who else do you have? Draya and Lindsay. I think Romeo's your best shot at winning. That guy.
I think Lindsay's got a shot too.
Wait, who on my team?
You got the best shot at winning, Kai, and Jonathan and Lydia.
Oh, okay. All of them got the good shot, especially Jonathan.
I really just have Omer, and then maybe Tori if she is this really Anthony-like player that could somehow get to the end and win. Well, number 3 is Lindsay.
I think she falls into this spot simply because, I mean, she's not doing anything great. She's not doing anything bad. She's very, very under the radar, and she's in a pretty secure spot on that tribe.
I'm just still like, who is Lindsay?
Same.
It's the same with Erica last season.
Who? Who is Lindsay?
Exactly. We don't know nothing about her other than she's at the bottom of a trio.
I feel like she's getting the Erica treatment. Hence, she's got a shot at winning.
But I mean, that's my problem. I still rank her fairly high. I do for that reason. But it's like, are they really gonna edit the same way 2 seasons in a row for a woman winner? Is that really what Survivor is going to do?
Yes.
Mike, I think you're mute if you're saying something.
I could totally see her getting the Erica treatment and winning. Like, do I necessarily think that's going to happen? No. Do I think it's possible? Like, from preseason, Lindsay seemed to have a personality. So, like, where is it, guys? Where's it at?
I mean, that was the same with Erica. I thought she had a lot of personality. That's why I picked her in the first place.
Erica reminded me more of Tori personally than of Lindsay. I found them both equally annoying in there, but
honestly, Lindsay reminded me of Tori in the pregame too.
I think Lindsay's way cooler than Tori.
I think she's a little more chill.
That's what I mean. That's a better word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on Lindsay? There's so little to go on, even though she's high in her rank.
Right.
She's in a good spot, I think. Like, even if they all four make the merge, would she really go before Jonathan? I doubt it. Maybe. I still just have a hard time seeing her win the game with back-to-back similar winners edits.
The non-existent edit.
See, the thing is, she might get the easy vote treatment of, we want to get rid of Jonathan, but we're afraid that he'll get idled, so time to vote out Lindsay. Like, I could see that happening.
Yeah.
That's fair.
All right. Number 2 is Omar.
This guy's likable, man. He's personable. He's likable. I've been pretty high on him for a few weeks now. He seems to be the safer half of him and Jonathan duo, him and Jonathan Lindsay trio. He seems smack dab in the middle. And he seems like he has a pretty good social game. So, I mean, he doesn't have anything bad going for him.
Yeah, I still think he has the potential to be one of the more savvier players, too. So that's always a plus. And he's just my only shot at winning, I think. So, yay for number
Tori.
2. You think so?
I do. I got the weirdest. My intuition didn't kick this hard normally.
Who else is on your team? Anyone, or are they all gone?
Chanel.
Yeah, I think it's possible. Unlikely, but possible. More likely than Roxroy.
Yeah.
But I actually think Omar is getting a lot of good confessional content. He seems like a sociable guy. He really pulled his own in the challenge. When they were shooting the basketball, I'm like, oh, he's gonna take like 5 minutes. And from what they showed us, he got it like really quick. So good on him. Like, I don't know why he just strikes me as this like unathletic kind of guy, but
He looks like you.
he just looks like a nerd. I can say that because I am one, but like he's holding his own in all the challenges. So props to him.
Any other thoughts on him?
I think you hit the nail on the head, Nick. He's just he appears to be socially savvy, like way savvy enough to navigate through the post-merge situation.
Yeah, and also not just socially savvy, but just like game savvy as well.
Yeah.
So that's why he's high for me too. But number 1 for 2 weeks in a row, our highest person is high. Your best shot at winning, Aspen.
Well, I mean, he's doing great, actually. He's just in a good spot, better than everybody else, I think.
For me, this is residual from last week, honestly, because we didn't really see anything new from High this week. But I was so impressed by his game last week that I ranked him number 1 again, simply because no one did anything to make me feel like they should overtake that spot.
Wait, what did he do last week? Last week and this week's episode is like merging together in my head because I watched.
That's when he basically was willing to go to Rox for Lydia. To save and
Okay.
Jenny.
Okay.
And he had the foresight to not vote how Chanel told him to, so that that whole situation had only came up because he went against the plan that was presented.
And he got to explain his thought process on the whole entire tribal. Would a woman ever get that on Survivor? I don't think so. But Hai did get that possibility to explain his thought process in a 5-minute thing at the beginning of the episode.
I think Hai's getting one of the best edits of anyone. We're seeing a lot of good strategic content from him. We're seeing his thought process, how he feels on things. And this week, I had him number one last week, and I have him number one again because he's continuing the same game. But he also just bonded with Mike, which is points for Mike, but it's also points for Hai. Because, so I can't, he's going to continue being number one until he does something wrong or someone else does something really good. And I didn't see any of that from anyone this week. So Hai maintains the number one spot by maintaining the course and seemingly bonding with someone who feels pretty alone right now. So smart gameplay from Hai.
Yes, and if Mike gets that idol, then he has that idol. Plus, Hai has that 3-way thing that they have. So he's definitely in the best spot.
The only bad thing we've seen from Hai all season, he didn't even get in trouble for, and that was for splashing a crap load of blood on his chest during that first challenge. No one even called him out on it. That's arguably the only misstep he's made because he made himself look like, Carrie. But it was just, good. Dude, this dude's playing solid, man. And Mike, great point with the Mike situation because that just solidified his spot as being really safe for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, that was the 3 weeks in a row he was all of our number ones. I don't know if he would have been your number one, Aspen. Even though he's your guy, I still think you would have ranked Jonathan number one.
It's Hyde and Jonathan. Get it right.
If you say so, I'm not convinced.
At least she's consistent.
All right. Any final thoughts on the rankings or the episode?
They need to come with something better next week. Step it up, Survivor. Step it the fuck up.
I feel like both tribes are kind of at like obvious points, though, unfortunately. Unless the yellow tribe actually loses the challenge, but I don't think they're gonna.
I just don't think I would. I think for the sake of I actually like everyone on the green tribe, unless it somehow ends up being Lydia, who I don't really have much of an opinion on because we don't see her. I would be sad to see anyone on the green tribe go character-wise, but I don't want to sit through another blue tribal council. They're not engaging. And I don't know why, but like I just find myself not caring about the blue tribe. And
it's because they didn't edit them in a whole last episode.
I mean, is that? I feel like I know these people from a little bit from preseason and then from what I've seen, but just the blue tribe, the dynamics aren't exciting to me. Even though we saw someone get called out on their crap and their game blow up in their face of saying everyone's the number one, that's on paper.
I still think it's editing issues because like they gave away Tori not going home, and then Tori's like, it might be Tori or it might be someone else in every fucking episode, and then it's not Tori because we know she gets a big word. So editing is a big issue with that tribe.
Yeah, it is. And this season, I'm going to say, based on your prediction, Nick, that what appears to happen in the preview for the next episode never seems to actually happen. I don't think Daniel's going home next episode.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So
I think blue tribe's losing again, honestly.
I need Daniel to make the merch. I think Daniel, if he makes the merch, can recover his game.
He can,
but he
if
has
he's going to,
make
it's going to be rough.
the merch because I don't know, man. If my team just becomes just Roxroy, I'm throwing all my weight behind Team Boo Boo. Like I swear.
Boo Boo got a shot with Marianne. I think Marianne, if she makes the merge with her whole team, she's going to be around for a while.
Would you trade Roxroy and Daniel for Mike?
Are you putting that out there?
I mean,
giving her a possibility to trade?
No, I'm just curious. I mean,
so we added trade to the draft.
I'm not going to because that's not like the rules of the game or whatever. But if that was a real option, I think Mike has a better chance of winning the game than Daniel and Roxroy combined. Like, because it really just becomes Mike versus Daniel. And I think Mike has a better chance than Daniel. So yeah, yeah, I would if given the chance, but yeah.
Well, on that note, with Mike's poor team, maybe he should stick to choosing all the older older women. That's what you did last, right? Who was on your team last season? Was they all
I
older
had
women?
Heather, Tiffany, and Shan, and that was a good team.
They were the 3 oldest women, I think, right?
And they were. I mean, I had Jenny and Mariah this season, and they're both gone already. So
That's
I still stuck with it. It just didn't work with me for me.
We needed to choose the other 2 oldest women, I guess. I don't know.
Who are they on this season?
I don't know. Probably Lindsay and I don't know who else.
Draya, maybe. Like I wouldn't be that much happier with either of them. A little bit, but not by a lot.
All right. Well, until next week, these are our rankings.